My name is Joe, and this is my story of how I got revenge on my bully after he made my life a living hell. I entered the bustling halls of Lincoln High School and navigated the sea of students with a heavy last year's backpack and my worn-out sneakers. My clothes were faded and patched, telling the story of my family's financial struggles. I grew up without my dad, who succumbed to a rare illness when I was 2 years old. Since then, my mom has worked hard to make ends meet. Amidst the laughter and chatter of the school kids, a dark cloud loomed in front of me. Max. He stopped my way, gathering everyone around.
"Look who's here, everyone! It's Joe, the beggar."
He taunted me, and his voice echoed through the corridor. At that moment, I thought that the ground would open and I would bury myself in it. Tears came into my eyes as a mixture of embarrassment and shame reflected in them. My eyes met his as I tightened my grip on my tattered books, trying so hard that his words didn't shatter my spirits. Max. I tried to stop him, but Max was like a stocky boy. He continued with a cruel grin, circling around me like a vulture, circling around the prey.
"Did you find those clothes in a dumpster, Joe? Oh wait, you probably did."
His words hit me like a dagger, and the crowd erupted in laughter. My cheeks burned with humiliation as I wished I could vanish. I wanted to escape this harsh reality, at least in the schoolyard. Max didn't stop there, as his torment continued like a relentless storm. It was then a matter of every day when Max bullied me and the onlookers laughed at me. I saw myself drowning in the whispers of Max's cruel laughter as I tried to fight this uphill battle of Max's relentless bullying. One afternoon, as I navigated through the crowded halls, he again seized an opportunity to escalate his torment. He had a sinister glint in his eyes as I blacked out. How did that happen? I helped myself up to see Max laughing, with his extended foot strategically positioned in my path. I was unaware of this impending danger, but I am now sure that my worn-out shoe made contact with his outstretched foot, and my world slowed down. The next moment, I was down there with my books scattered all around like the leaves in the breeze.
"You belong there, you filthy poor being. You belong on the floor only, not between us,"
he said, but my mind was preoccupied with the daily struggle of enduring that. My humiliation escalated, but there was nothing I could do. Or do I? No one likes to be friends with Max because of this behavior, but he continues to do it, and I was an easy target for sure.
"You are pathetic, Max. Why do you enjoy making someone's life, actually my life, miserable?"
I tried weakly to challenge Max's cruelty.
"You're a loser. Just a loser. You should learn your place," he retorted. "Doing this makes you a loser and coward, Max. No one deserves to be treated like this, no one. You can choose to be better than this," I said honestly. "Oh, please, save your lectures,"
he said as our confrontation lingered in the air. But I knew nothing was going to change. Nothing. I made my way toward the locker room after this humiliation, and this time I was cautious. I opened my locker and there he was, standing there with the same glint in his eyes.
Well, well, Joe the pauper, what treasures will you scrape from here?"
He sneered as he tried to look into my possessions. Possessions may not be the right word, as I really had nothing except for some old books in my locker. I attempted to avoid his piercing stare, lowering my gaze, as by now I was accustomed to this. The students around are like silent spectators in this unjust play. They were eagerly waiting for the drama to unfold, and Max was ready to give them that. With a swift motion, he snatched my backpack, which was the only barrier between me and his irresistible desire to humiliate me every now and then.
"Let's look at what we have here in Joe the pauper's backpack."
He rummaged through my worn-out bag, pulling out my notebooks.
Probably salvage from the trash, just like everything else you own,"
Max said bitterly. Laughter erupted from the gathered crowd once again, looking at me falling prey to Max's cruel doings. Things didn't stop there, as now, with a calculated move, he again tripped me over, sending me sprawling to the cold, unforgiving floor once again. A chorus of mockery echoed through the desolate locker room. I struggled to my feet once again, with my eyes reflecting humiliation and quiet defiance. Ding ding! The school bell rang, signaling the end of our school time and the end of this torment. Everybody left me like a defeated figure lying on the floor, and the crowd dispersed, rushing towards their homes. Alone in the deserted room of Lincoln High School, I gathered my scattered belongings. The scars of this encounter were running deep, burning the fire of revenge.
Enough is enough, I screamed to myself. I won't take this humiliation anymore. Max has to have the taste of his own medicine,
I said to myself, as the flames of anger and resilience burned inside me. A few days later, I sat in my room after school with a mischievous grin playing on my lips as I concoct a devious plan. The idea of turning the tables on him and taking revenge on him has been festering in my mind since my encounter with him 3 days ago. I envisioned the perfect revenge, a spectacle that will leave Max red-faced and humiliated. My eyes were gleaming with excitement or revenge, I can't say, but I mentally map out all the details. Starting with my arsenal of colored water spray that I got as a gift for Christmas last year, I have to create an embarrassing scene for Max. I will stain his face and clothes. A wide smile comes to my lips as I picture the chaos and the surprised look on Max's face when he sees the liquid splattering in every direction. I'm not stopping there. I have a grand finale ready. I will place a mountain of stones ready to strategically place around his house. This will be my course of obstacles that will culminate in the epic fall. I have already imagined Max stumbling over the rocky terrain and his arms flailing. But that's not all. I will capture every hilarious moment, ensuring that Max's embarrassment will forever be immortalized for everyone to see. I chuckle to myself as I imagine when kids will see the videos and pictures of Max falling with his clown face. It's a payback for my humiliation. I mentally script the sequence of events as I can't help but feel a surge of adrenaline in my body. Revenge is a dish best served creatively, and that is what I have to do. I consider the aftermath, the laughter, the gasps, and the enjoyment of witnessing Max's downfall. We will play around the school grounds while kids will point and laugh at him. He will try to salvage his dignity. It's a scene straight out of a comedy show, and I have the guts to do poetic justice to it. I am the puppet master, and Max is unknowingly cast as the main star in my show. The sheer audacity of the plan excites me, and I relish the idea of outsmarting Max in his own game. I want to see my revenge plot through to the end. But subconsciously, the part that doing this would not differentiate me from him haunted my mind, forcing me to rethink if all this was really necessary. I gather all my belongings as per my plan and embark on the journey towards Max's house. I navigate the quiet streets, and the weight of my revenge plot is fueling at each step. As I approach Max's home, I can almost taste the victory that awaits me. But just when I reach the doorstep, a muffled sound catches my attention. I press my ear against the door, and the echoes of distress are seeping through the wood door. Max's cries, which are heart-wrenching and genuine, pierce the air, and it is sending shivers down my spine. I strain to hear, and with every passing word, my grin fades, and now there is shock painted over my face. The brow of concern etches on my face, and my revenge plot crumbles like a house of cards.
This can't happen! This can't happen!
Max's voice is wavering. He is choking with desperation, and my curiosity is turning into genuine worry. My ears, which are accustomed to emotional turmoil, are now unfolding on the other side of the door.
Mom, Dad, our house can be mortgaged. This is not happening,
Max says, and his voice is like a haunting revelation that is shattering the preconceived notions.
But your sister, his mom says, my sister is dying even after all the care and struggles. No!
He was screaming. The stones in the sack suddenly feel heavier, not as props for my revenge, but as burdens of an unforeseen truth. My mischievous eyes dull down as I grapple with the gravity of the situation. I stand there frozen and torn between my desire for revenge and my newfound empathy tugging at my conscience. The cries are not stopping, and each plea and sob is eroding the foundation of my vengeful plot. I'm shaken as I take a step back. My mind is grappling with conflicting emotions. That was the moment when I realized I had to choose compassion over cruelty. I can't be the next Max. I have to be Joe, that is kind and compassionate. I can't be the same bully that I hate. I pocket my colored water sprays and leave the stack of stones behind. I realize that some battles are fought on different battlegrounds. I decided to leave, trying not to pry into what seemed like a personal problem. I tried to shake my head and adjust my mind from the unexpected scene that was playing like a movie in front of my eyes. Just as I'm about to leave, the door opens and a familiar figure, Max, is standing there red-eyed, all crying and disheveled. He looks up in shock, or God knows what emotion.
Joe, what are you doing here?
He asks, stammering as he attempts to wipe away the evidence of tears.
I heard everything, Max.
I reply gently, and I see Max's eyes widening in surprise. For the first time ever, I saw some vulnerability in the eyes of my bully.
You heard what? Why were you eavesdropping, Joe? Why?
He demands an answer as his voice trembles.
I didn't mean to. I really didn't mean to overhear. I was just passing by and I heard it. I can't ignore your cries.
I say, actually lied. But a lie that saves someone's feelings is good, right?
Why do you care about me crying, Joe? Shouldn't you be happy about it?
His shoulders slump like a baby and he sinks into the chair nearby.
I wonder why, too. Maybe because before being someone who made my life a living hell, you are human. I can't just ignore after hearing all those things.
I confess.
Everything is falling apart, Joe. Everything.
He whispers, and this time, fresh tears stream down his face.
Our sister, my house, I don't know what to do.
He says, and I take a deep breath. Max, sometimes life throws us curveballs, and it doesn't mean you have to face them alone. You could have shared it with someone, and it would help you come out of your struggles, or at least give you the motivation to face them. I say, trying to comfort him. He looks straight into my eyes as if he sees a friend in me, and I really don't mind. We all have our moments, Max. It's perfectly okay to cry and ask for help, I say. He wipes away his tears and sniffles.
I'm sorry, Joe, for everything I've done to you. I always treated you like badly, and you're here helping me? I'm truly, really sorry.
He says. I stare at him in disbelief. I couldn't decide if it was my mind, which wasn't ready to imagine this apology, or my ears couldn't believe what they were hearing for the first time.
No, Joe. I owe you an apology for everything I did in school. Calling you poor, bullying you, I was wrong.
He says.
But why did you do it, Max, in the first place?
I ask, as he takes a shaky breath before unraveling the layers of his past before me.
I had no friends in my previous school. Everyone bullied me because my family struggled financially. My parents were trying to save every penny for my sister's muscular dystrophy treatment. She's almost at the end, and we're running out of money to even save her, he says. I'm really sorry about your sister, Max. I had no idea, I say. I was always alone, and when I transferred to this new school, I noticed someone else who was just like me. My stupid self just wanted to feel powerful. I projected my frustrations onto you, Joe. I bullied you because I thought it would make me feel better about myself, he explains. I was wrong, Joe. I'm truly sorry for what I put you through. You didn't deserve it. You really didn't. Not even a bit of it, he says. It's true that I was indeed miserable, but I wanted to make friends too. I wasn't always like that, Max. It was only after my father died I became distant. I whisper in a low tone, Max, I had no idea you were going through all that. I wish you had talked to me. Maybe we could have been friends instead. I say, observing all that he said, and he lowered his gaze. It's like a weight has been lifted off his chest. It's still not an excuse for me to bully you, Joe. I'm really sorry for what I did. Max apologizes again. Let's not dwell on the past. We can support each other now, friends? I say, extending my hand. He shakes my hand, looking at me with gratitude. Friends, he says with a weak smile on his face.
The past started to fade away, and even if the future was unknown, our friendship kept us both connected, not by hatred, but by seeing that kindness might heal even the most profound rifts. I'm returning home, bearing a life lesson that I have learned, the fragility of presumptions and the unpredictable nature of life. Although it was a painful lesson to learn, it was timely and essential. I never planned to become friends with Max, but I will always cherish our relationship. Now, our days of conflict have given way to ones of understanding and support for one another. Now that the past is healed, Max no longer turns to brutality for solace. Our classmates who had previously watched Max's suffering in silence started to notice a change. It was a positive change since empathy turned out to be the antidote to revenge. It resembles a strong force that can break free hatred from its bonds. The narrative changes in the hallways of Lincoln High School. Now the murmurs of brutality are whispers of transformation. The mocking laughing has given way to a compassionate chuckle. My story is living proof that even a tiny deed of kindness may have a significant impact. The lessons we have learned ripples beyond our personal experiences and upends the hierarchy of school bullies and victims. And actually, empathy won out over revenge.